Hi guys, Spence $23 here. Welcome to today's episode. We are going to be doing a hog card spotlight. I'll probably go through every single card over the coming weeks. Now, I'm not a big hog user myself, but I have been around the clans. I've checked out what people are using for the best defense against hogs and their favorite attacks. I'm going to take a look at some of those today. Now, hogs unlock at Pekka's Playhouse. The best friends of the hog, they're right there on the left-hand side of the screen. Worst enemies, you'll notice that the freeze card is on both sides. I'd give it a frustration factor of 6 out of 10 when people attack you with the hogs. Now, first up, one of the best defenses against the hogs is, of course, the Barbarians. But just remember to push your Barbarians right up as close to the river as you possibly can, because that way your hog won't even get as far as the tower. It won't take any damage off you. If you don't quite have the time, you're not quite ready with your elixir, at least push your Barbarians as far up as you can. Don't sit them right back at your tower. Even this way, halfway up, the hog still didn't make it to the tower, and sometimes you can get a great counter attack with the Barbarians on the counter. Now, here is a great way to see which way the hog paths when it's coming to your king tower. It kind of tries to follow the path. So if you're wondering where to put your Barbarians, just assume the hog is going to follow that yellow path, and you'll generally won't go far wrong. Don't put them too far away. You don't want your Barbarians chasing around after the hog. It'll do much more damage than it needs to do. Now, one of the best defenses against one of the favorite attacks with the hogs, normally that's hogs with the goblins. One of the best defenses I've seen against this is to build up a bomb tower. Now, what you'll see here is the bomb tower immediately takes away the goblins, dropping your Barbarians behind. The Barbarians are completely unharmed, and you're on the counter attack straight away. That is a great defense against one of the most popular hog attacks that there is. One of the other defenses is putting a tombstone in front of your tower. Now, the reason you put it in front is because the Larrys, when they come out, they will surround the hog and cause it some specific damage. You're generally going to need to put another troop on one side or the other. You might want to wait a few seconds just in case the person intends to use a freeze. Here we see it being done with the dragon. This hog doesn't get anywhere near the tower on this occasion. Those Larrys surround it and they absolutely destroy it. Now, you can also, if you're worried about the freeze, you can put the tombstone somewhere towards the middle, distract the hog, bring it towards the center, stick your other troop over on the left or on the right, and that hog again, it got one swipe off against the tower, but you're on for a counter attack straight away. Now, Minion Horde will destroy a hog, but you've got to obviously know that the other person has either used their arrows or doesn't have any arrows. But if you drop your Minion Horde in the right place, the hog won't make it as far as the tower, and it's a great defense, but just be careful that they don't have arrows, otherwise you could be in serious trouble and completely starved of elixir. So here we go, we're now seeing a hog attacking, and what you need to do if you're going to drop troops, 2 cards at once, at least sit one of them far enough away that it won't be captured by the freeze. Best to drop 1 card first, tempt out the freeze, then drop another, and that is one of the ways to counter the freeze hog. The problem is it will still do some serious damage to your tower. This is one of the favourite attacks with the hog. I personally think this is the best attack with the hog. That is the hog and the goblin barrel. You'll notice here the hog went in with the goblin barrel. Even with the Valk defending, that tower went down in no time at all. You can even improve on that. You can send in the hog, the goblin barrel, and the freeze if you can spare the elixir. Remember, if you're doing it on the king tower like this, try and separate your goblins from your hog, just so that, for example, this Valkyrie here can't be swiping all of your goblins and your hog at the same time. That king tower ended up absolutely annihilated. Now, one of the ways that you can overcome the tombstone defense, send in some kind of splash damage. In this case, it's the Valkyrie. Valkyrie wipes out all the Larrys. That gives this hog a free bash of his hammer onto this tower. Now, although the defense is a few spear goblins, that still caused some serious damage to that tower. Another way to defend against this, especially if someone's going to use a freeze spell, is to use your own freeze spell. Try and make it so your freeze spell goes down just after theirs, so that your troops come back awake before theirs do, and you can wipe them out. Now, that was a bad freeze spell. Minions are going to go back on the way. You'll actually notice on this replay, he uses arrows, and therefore I can throw the goblin barrel and go in for the counter attack. Now, a lot of people have been trying to mirror hogs. I personally have not found a way to usefully mirror hogs. This is just a random replay of me just trying to mirror 2 hogs, see what actually happens if you send 2 at once. It does sometimes cause panic on the opponent's side, But if you look at this, they've both run towards the middle, and they're both about to be dealt with pretty much as easily as one hog would be. Look at that hog, he goes over to town, then he comes back to attack the Inferno. Complete waste of time. So let's go over to what is a great hog deck in action. This is a hog deck that actually works in Legend League, even for a level 8. Okay guys, I'm going to fight Nidra. I've asked him to make a hog deck. I've asked him to test it in Legend League, and he's actually used it in Legend League, won a few battles. So this hog deck, which doesn't use any crazy cards that people might not have, I think this is a pretty useful deck for you guys to be trying out. You can see there I've tried to defend against that hog. The fireball has absolutely wiped me out. I've done my best, but that tower is destroyed in one go using what I said earlier was probably the best hog attack that there is. That's the hog, goblin barrel, and the freeze. Probably wasn't the greatest defense by me, especially since I knew he was going to come with the hogs. But let's not forget, I'm actually using Nidra's own deck against him, so he knows absolutely every move that I'm going to try and make here. So I've got the freeze spell ready to go with these minions, but the arrows are there. Now that I've tempted out the arrows, I know I can fire my goblin barrel and I can go over with the freeze spell and I can do some serious damage. You need to freeze this cannon, but there we go. He has sensibly, he's dropped in some goblins, and I'm not going to be able to take down his tower in one go like I would have liked to have done, because these are ground troops, can defend with a few minions, but he's now tempting out my arrows. So that means he's going to want to send the goblin barrel and the hog because he knows I've used up my arrows. Sneaky, sneaky Nidra. Okay, it's 630 on the right-hand tower. Here comes the hog. Now, for whatever reason, he wasn't quite ready. I managed to get my barbarians fairly close to the river. Only one hit off on my tower. I'm on the counter-attack, but he's got a fireball. He's going to cause epic damage to my barbarians. They've been rendered completely useless. I only need to get 553 off the right-hand side tower, but what Nidra does really well is keeps the pressure on constantly. Now, in this hog deck that he's using, that cannon is pretty useful. Even though it's not going to shoot these minions, it will distract them. You'll notice here I counted my cards completely wrong. I thought he didn't have the arrows ready, and I wasted a free spell, and that has really gifted this to him very, very easily. He's sending the hog from the middle this time. Now, I don't drop my barbs straight away because I know he's going to drop the freeze. I drop the barbs afterwards, and I do kind of defend against that reasonably well, but in comes the fireball again. My barbarians are destroyed. Now I'm assuming that I can tempt out the arrows on the right and he won't fire the arrows on the left, but by dropping in a bunch of troops, very cheap troops actually, Larry's just for one, he distracts me long enough, wipes out my troops, and I'm seriously struggling to counter. He's not letting me build up enough elixir because he's keeping me on the back foot constantly. I had to drop my barbarians so close to my tower then that he's already got to my tower. I've tried to freeze in return. I have managed to freeze him, and I have kind of defended against that hog attack, but he's doing so much damage every single time. I'm down to 400. I'm throwing everything at his right-hand side tower. He never let me build up the elixir in order to do anything useful, and he's beaten me with the hog deck. Well done, Nidra. So guys, if you want to try that deck that Nidra's using, he wins at 3,000 and 3,400 trophies with that deck. There's nothing special in that deck. You've probably all got those cards. Let me know how it works out for you guys. Might take a little bit of practice. I've tried it. Won 2, lost 2. But maybe I'll practice a little bit more. Thank you guys for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and share these videos with your friends. Let me know if you'd like me to do some more card spotlights. I'll go into a little bit more detail next time, and I'll go and get a lot of replays. We can have a little bit of fun with that. Until the next time, guys, you guys take care. Send everyone!